Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Today is October 31st, and today is Halloween. Happy Halloween! Halloween is one of the most famous holidays in United States. Most people celebrate Halloween in some English-speaking countries. So Halloween is really, really fun. A lot of children, they go around the neighborhood and they ask for candies, and people really decorate their houses with different themes, and it's a really fun celebration. So happy Halloween to everyone. Today's class is about action verbs and simple past. This is class number 4. I am Sabi Vega, your English teacher, and this is English for 11th grade. Which are the objectives for today's class? You will identify different action verbs, and we are going to talk about events from the past. What is an action verb? An action verb describes what someone or something is doing. Like, for example, she tasted the stew. Someone is eating, the girl is eating, and she tasted. Mm. The bus arrived on time. The action that was the bus was moving, and then it arrived on time. Remember, action verbs describe what someone in the first example, she, or something in the second example, the boss is doing. The action verbs are a lot. Let's check some examples here. You can repeat at home, okay? I will read it for you and we will practice pronunciation. Ask, bake, bite, bounce, brush, build, call, carry, catch, clap, clean, climb, close, color, comb, cane, comb, cook, cry, cut, dance, dig, draw, dream, drink, drive, eat, float, fly, fold, follow, give, go, hit, hop, juggle, juggle, jump, kick, knock, laugh, lead, lift, lock, look, march, mix, mop, open. Okay, in these first examples, we can see that the action is performed by color individuals, right? So action verbs describe what someone or what something is doing, okay? Like, for example, the baby here. Oh, the baby is sad, the baby cries. The baby cries. So this is the action, cry. I am performing an action, clap. The teacher claps. Okay? There are more examples of action verbs, but let's start like understanding how action verbs work. In a sentence, we have two major parts, the subject plus the verb. For example, if I have the verb pack, I said, the boy packed his clothes. The action is pack. Who did it? The boy. Paint. The man paints the wall. The man paints the wall. The action is paint. Let's check the pronunciation of these other group of action verbs. Pack, paint, paste, pick, plant, play, point, pour, pull, push, rake, read, write, roll. When you go to the lake, right? And then you roll in the boat. Roll, sail, crop, sit, set, sue, shout, show, sing, sit, skate, skip, leap, slide, sneeze, woo, sneeze, choo, spin, stand, stop, swim, swim, swing, take, talk, tell, through, tie, turn, walk, walk, wash. This is what we have to do every day. Wash your hands, wave, wipe, work, write, yawn. Okay, these other sets of action verbs really, really fun, right? They are really fun. You can see the action performed by someone here. So let's make some practice. Let's select the word run. This is the action verb. Remember, the sentence is formed by the subject and the action verb. The boy runs. The boy runs. Shout. The children shout to their friends. When we have a sentence, the structure of the sentence is subject, verb, and object. Yes, the subject could be a pronoun or a proper name. Like in this case, I, she, or he. Then the action verb follows the subject, like, sees, is reading. And the object finishes the sentence. I like X. X receives the action. I like X. I see her sister. She is reading a book. She sees her sister. I like X. He is reading a book. So in here we have the object. The object receives the action from the verb. One way to identify the action or the verb in a sentence is by underlining. What do we have to do? First, we need to read the sentence. Number one, the cat played in the yard. What is the subject? Oh, the cat. Yes, cat. This is a common noun for an animal. The cat. What is the action? The cat played. The action is in simple past. The cat played. Then the object is the place. The cat played in the yard. Then in the example number 2, a huge bird eats a big meal. What is the subject? Bird. Yes, the animal. A huge bird. So this is a big animal. What is the action? Eat. The huge bird eats, and the object, meal. A big meal. A huge bird eats a big meal. Remember, the verb indicates the action that is performed by someone or something. Number 3, she runs across the street. The subject, she. The verb, runs. Runs, that's the action. And the object is the street. She runs across the street. Now it's your turn. Identify the verb in the following sentences. My mom cooks my favorite dinner. What is the action? What is the subject? The subject is the person who performs the action. Mom. Yes, mom is the subject. What is the action? Cook. Yes, my mom cooks. And the object, dinner. My mom cooks my favorite dinner. In the sentence number 8, a puppy sleeps by the door. What is the subject? Puppy. Action, sleeps. Object, door. A puppy sleeps by the door. In the sentence number 9, that sweeps the floor. Who is the subject? That. What is the action made by the subject? Swept. What thing? The floor. So the floor is the object. That subject, sweeps, is the action verb, and then floor, the floor is the object. That sweeps the floor. In the sentence number 10, your teacher loves kids. Teacher is the subject. Your teacher in a specific. What is the action? Loves. But this action is abstract. We can see it, but we can feel it. And the object, kids. Your teacher loves kids. Now, let's check the simple past tense. We mentioned that a sentence is composed by a subject and a verb. Verb indicate actions or describe different actions. There are many verbs. They can be worked in different tenses. We can have verb in simple present, in simple past, or in future. But there are more tenses. Now we are going to focus on those actions in simple past tense. Simple past tense express or indicate actions that happen in the past and finish in the past. The past simple form is composed by the subject, the verb, and the modifier. The modifier could be a phrasal, or it could be a preposition, or it could be a clause. There are many categories. But today we are going just to focus on the action, the verb. Then in the sentence, I was at home yesterday, this action happened and ended in the past. I have a time marker here, the word yesterday, that indicate that this is past tense. And was is the past form of the verb be. I was at home yesterday. In the second sentence, I worked as a writer at home. When did I did? Yesterday. Maybe a couple of years ago. I don't know. It happened long time ago. So the action start in the past and finish in the past. Am I working as a writer now? We don't know. Maybe not, because the action ended in the past. So I used to be a writer in the past, but not now. I work as a writer at home. Then we have more examples. You were students. Imagine that you graduated already. Last year, I was a student, but not anymore. The action start in the past and finish in the past. You were students. Now you are teachers or you are doctors. They studied in the university. Oh, they finished their career. They are not at the university anymore. The action start in the past and finish in the past. He, she, and it. We have the third person singular person. Here we have the verb to be again. Remember that the past form of the singular is was, and the plural form of the singular in past tense is were. He was Spanish. He came from Spain. Here we have more examples. We can work simple past tense in negative form. We saw some affirmative, positive sentences. Now let's check some negative. If the verb is was, I can form the negative form just adding the word not. I was not at home yesterday. Remember that the original sentence was, I was at home yesterday. That happened yesterday, started yesterday, and finished yesterday in the past. Now, I said the contrary. I was not at home yesterday. But the action finished in the past. It started in the past and finished in the past. I work was the positive. Now, in the negative form, I didn't work as a writer at home. So for most of the verbs, we need to use the auxiliary did, that is the past tense of do, to form the negative of past simple past sentences. Okay, we need did. Did is the auxiliary for simple past. We use did for questions and we use did for negative. Did take the help us with the tense. So the verb or the action doesn't need the ed anymore. I didn't work. You weren't or you were not students. You were writers. They didn't study in the university. He was not Spanish. She didn't come from Spain. Remember, the negative says the contrary of the affirmative. The simple past tense in regular verbs needs to follow certain rules. We have spelling rules when we talk about simple past tense in regular verbs. It is formed by the base form of the verb and plus the ed. Yes, this extra syllable is added to the word. So we have here the basic form or the base form, and then we add ed in spelling, in writing, to change this base form into past tense. So we have walk, walked. Yes, the pronunciation is different. The E is silent. We do not pronounce it. And then you say walk, walked. T sound, walked, walked, no walk it. That's incorrect. Walked. The L is silent. Do not pronounce it. The E is silent. Walked, walked. Play, played, played, played. In that, we have vibration. Played, played. When the verbs end in E, we just need to add the D. Like, liked. Move, moved. When the verbs end in a consonant plus Y, we change the Y into I and add the ED. Then we have carry, carried. Study, studied. Carry, carried. Study, studied. For some verbs ending in a single consonant, we have the second last letter is a vowel. What do we need to do? Double the last letter and add ed. Like in example, plan, plan. Vowel, consonant. Double the consonant and add ed. Plan, planned. Stop, stopped. These are some spelling rules for regular verbs in the simple past. But verbs in the simple past have two categories. Regular verbs that just need to ed to form the past form, and irregular verbs that we need to memorize and practice. Here we have another chart for the past simple. Remember that the auxiliary for the past simple is the verb did. Yes, did is the past form of the verb do. In most regular verbs, we just need to add ed. We have the base form and we switch it into the past form. So for the verb to play, we say played. To walk, walked. To study, studied. The affirmative structure is subject plus base form plus ed. Example, I played football yesterday. The action starts in the past and finish in the past. When did it happen? Yesterday. I have a time mark. Then we have the other category of verbs that are called irregular. They are different. We need to memorize and practice. The base form is make. The past form is made. The base form is ring. The past form is rang. Totally different. The base form is go. The past form is went. In the structure of the affirmative sentences, we have subject plus second form. Yes, it's the second column. I went to the cinema. Went is the past form of the irregular verb go. Check the example. When we want to make the negative, the structure is, or the formula, the form, subject plus, remember the auxiliary, did plus not. Then we can use the contraction form. Remember, we use contraction forms to sound more natural, to sound like native. Subject plus didn't plus base form of the verb. Remember, the function of the auxiliary is to carry the tense. So if we have help here, we don't need the past. in the verb anymore. So the action does not change. We just change here with the auxiliary form. With regular verbs, we have I or you didn't play football yesterday. You didn't go to the cinema last night. Remember, negative is the contrary of affirmative, is the opposite. Now, we have questions, yes, no questions, or interrogative statements. Here again, we use the auxiliary. Yes, we use did. Remember, did is the past form of the modal auxiliary do. Did has the function to carry with the tense. So the verb or the action switches into the base form. With irregular verbs, example, did you play football yesterday? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. With an irregular example, did you go to the cinema last night? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Remember, how do you know it is past tense? Because we have here the auxiliary, and the function of the auxiliary is to carry or help us with the tense. In this case, past. Do I have to change the action into past too? No. The action keep the base form because now the auxiliary is the one that is showing us the tense. With W questions, interrogative statements, we place the interrogative statement or the question word at the beginning of the question. Then the auxiliary did plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. Remember, when we write questions in English, we use question marks at the end of the statement, not at the beginning. This is not Spanish. In Spanish, we use at the beginning and at the end. In English, just at the end of the statement. What did you play yesterday? Football. When we use question word, it's because we need extra information. We want a specific information. Where did you go last night? To the cinema. I asked for a specific information. Irregular verbs need to be memorized. In here, I have one example of one of the famous irregular verb lists that you can find anywhere on the internet. Okay? So you just need to practice. Just focus on the second column. Look, we have the first column is the present or the base form. The second column is the past. And the third column is the past participle. But today, we are just focused on the second column. Okay? Swim, swam. Practice and repeat with me. Practice at home. Swim, swam. Teach, taught. Buy, bought. Speak, spoke. Do, did. Sell, sold. Wear, wore. Read, read. Yes. The difference is the pronunciation. You read it and you write it the same. Read, read. Hear, heard. Eat, ate. Run, ran. Pot, pot. This one is the same. Yes, it's the same and the same pronunciation. Go, went. Cut, cut. What? The same case as pot. Fall, fell. Drink, drank. Fly, flew. Choose, choose. What do we need to do? You need to practice, practice, and memorize the past form of the irregular verbs. There is no other way. Okay, now let's talk about the midterm exam. What do you have to do? You have to write a biography. It could be from a famous person. In this case, we have selected Willard Christopher Smith, or most better known as Will Smith. Remember, when you write a biography, it's like a sequence of events. It starts since the moment the person was born until now. Remember, you need to include at least 15 different verbs in past tense and use a highlighted check that in this biography, the verbs in past are in blue, so you can easily identify them. I will read this example for you. I include a picture to illustrate the biography. Willard is Christopher Smith Jr., born September 25th, 1968, is an American actor and rapper. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the second of four children. Will Smith started, past tense, his career as part of the pop rap duo DJ Jay-Z Jeff and the Fresh Prince, performing humorous radio-friendly songs, most notable Parents Just Don't Understand. Smith was a charismatic and energetic performer, and in 1990s, the NBC television network signed him up and built a sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, around him. Smith began a successful movie career near the show ends with Bad Boys 1995. Okay, this is just an extract from a short paragraph from the Will Smith biography. What do you have to do? Select one of the famous that you like. Select one famous person and then write about this person in a chronological order. This is a biography. And this is your midterm exam.